Hello, cosmic beings. Welcome to Being Cosmic. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I am so glad that each and every one of you are here. My name is Devon, and I will be doing a collective message today. So, with that, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Okay, so for this message, I have a feeling it's going to be a counterpart message. It might be for a divine masculine. We will see. Well, actually, I think it is because the message that was coming through is basically to remind you, yeah, okay, so this is for a masculine on the brink of breaking no contact. So that is who this is for. And what I was hearing is basically like remind the masculine this is for them. So when it comes down to it, remember that you're being pushed to reach out right now for you. Right. So it's one of these things like sometimes on the healing journey, the awakening journey, we will be guided to do certain things to fully process something, to fully heal from something, or to, get to the next step, basically. Get to that next phase. And so for this masculine collective for a while, the next step for you to really get into full alignment is for you to break no contact with your feminine. And I feel like express like actual emotions, express like how you actually feel about this person, allowing yourself to be open, honest, authentic, and vulnerable, and put yourself in that energy to where you are, trusting somebody else. And I know how hard that can be. Trust me, I do. Um, but this is a situation where you're being guided to do this for quite a few reasons, but the main one is to remember this is for you. This is to get the weight off your chest. This is to get it out in the open. Because here's the thing, it's one of these like, okay, I'm being shown like an image where there's a masculine sitting on the bench holding a basketball, and they're like, all I want to do is just play. All I want to do is just play. Well, at some point you have to get up and, play. Like you got to get up and shoot the ball, like shoot some hoops. I'm seeing a basketball. Um, and so it's one of those things like you're sitting here holding the ball and you really, really want to play, but you don't know. It's almost like you're sitting there and there's somebody else that you want to play with, but you don't know if they want to play with you. And then you're just sitting there like, oh, it'd be really nice if they wanted to play with me, but I would have to go ask them if they wanted to play. And so you don't even know right now if your feminine wants to play ball with you. And so it's like the universe can't help you shift into alignment without doing this first because that is what you're desiring. That's what you're manifesting. That's what you're wanting. But you have to allow yourself to get over this. I'm getting a fear of rejection, and again, I understand it. It is difficult. It's just one of those things that at some point it's it's just going to be easier to put yourself out there and know, and then from there you can move on. You're not going to be stuck in this energy that I feel like you've been stuck in for a while. And so it's one of these things that, yeah, with the strategy card here, it's one of these things that at some point you're just going to have to go for it. At some point you can come up with 15 different, you know I'm seeing football now, but so maybe you play sports or maybe you're really into sports, but I'm seeing football. Like you can come up with all these different plays, but sometimes it's a game time decision. Sometimes it's you know quarterback gets the ball and then they're supposed to run this play, but then they see that they've got a receiver wide open over here, so then they switch it up in the and get like I'm seeing like they switch it up, they throw it to that open receiver, and the receiver takes it all the way for a game-winning touchdown. Like it's that kind of energy where at some point, yes, you can come up with all these different plays, you can practice them, you can go through it, you can go back and forth, but at some point you're going to have to get on the field and play. And so it's kind of this energy of like, and ultimately remember this is for you. This is for your healing. This is for your journey. And yes, I do feel like you are desiring something more with your feminine, but you have to communicate with them first to even see if they are open to that. Which I do feel like they are, and I feel like that's why you're being pushed so hard. The verse, no. Yeah, holy shit. Okay. Yeah, we've got the root chakra. That's the base chakra. It sits at the base of the spine. The color's red. It governs survival. It's our physical world, basically. So maybe you're coming up with a strategy with something in your physical world. Maybe this is coming up with a strategy for an actual physical offer to ground this into the physical world. and you've got blossoming abundance with a counterpart. So, I mean, it's one of these things, like, it's probably gonna go in your favor, but you're gonna have to, like, reach out to see. Um, yeah, yeah. And then I was also getting a lot of third eye, like, sensations when I first tapped into this, energy, so you could be experiencing third eye activations right now, yeah, and then anxiety. So, and that's the thing too, is like this anxiety is going to finally be able to lift once you reach out, because it's not going to lift beforehand because you don't know. So you're going to be sitting there coming up with all the different strategies, but not knowing until you actually put it into action. And that's where this base chakra is coming from too, is like grounding this into the physical world, actually allowing yourself to take those forward steps towards your person to see if they are even on board, and carrying connections. Right when I said that, I was like, I feel like they are, and then we've got the carrying connections here, so I do feel like this is reciprocated. It's just a matter of, yeah, you fully allowing yourself to take down the mask and to be open, honest, authentic, and vulnerable to this person. And it might be scary, but the thing is you can feel into this person's energy. I do feel like some of you have a way where you can see your feminine at a distance. And so it's one of those, like, think about what you've been noticing with your feminine. Have they been consistently showing up in a similar energy? Have they actually shown some of these signs that they are different now? Because I do feel like it was different in the past when you experienced this person, and now it's time to allow yourself to see how much they've changed, how much you've changed. And it's one of those things too where you're not going to fully be able to see that you are an energetic match for this person until you're actually with this person and communicating with them. And the thing is you would not be energetically allowed to approach a divine feminine if you were not in an energy that was close enough to actually meet them where they're at. So, yeah, I mean, it's one of those, especially if you can see your feminine and you're like, well, they're just, they've healed so much and they seem like they've got it all together and this and that and the other. And what do I really have to offer? You are offering yourself. You are offering your energy. You are offering you can offer consistency, commitment, stability, those kinds of things that I feel like you've already been working on. And so even if you're not exactly where you want to be and you don't feel like you can give this person everything that you think they deserve, what you can offer them is, it's energetic. It's so much more than just like physical stuff. And this is a person that, yeah, of course, physical stuff is nice and we're here to have a physical experience, but what your person is desiring is an energy thing, is containment. It's energetic containment ultimately. That's what a divine feminine requires in order to continue to rise. And so I feel like that might be part of what's going on too. Your feminine might be kind of at like a plateau, because in order for them to continue to rise in a certain way within in yeah, and there is an energetic thing here. So there is something that you can offer your feminine now that you might not be seeing, but it will become clear when you actually allow yourself to take down this mask, be open, honest, authentic, and vulnerable with them. And yeah, it's one of those, like, I do feel like there's trust issues. Just in general, I don't feel like you don't trust this person. It's just that energy of like needing to put yourself out there and trust somebody else while you're in an open, vulnerable state. The thing is once you do that, you will be victorious and you will have success when it comes to this situation. Yeah, and ultimately, remember, this is the next step you're being asked to take for your journey. And so, if, I do feel like this person's on board, but even if they're not, or even if it takes a while, it's going to allow you to take the next steps on your journey. Um, Storm warning, eh? Indecision is on the reverse. It was in the reverse. Okay. So maybe you've actually been making the decision, at least at some point, to where you are getting ready to reach out, which would explain why this message is coming through the way it is. Yeah, it's funny. I've been fostering a doggy dog, and she gets surgery in a couple days. And so she's actually getting picked up in like a half an hour. So the spirit was like, record really fast. And I was like, oh shit, okay. Um, So yeah, she's gone to a different foster for recovery. But anyways, that would explain why this is coming out right now and so like urgently. We've got cornucopia here. So yeah, this is, for you to take the next steps to align with your dream reality, it is requiring you to be open, honest, authentic, vulnerable, and allow yourself to be in that energy with another person. Um, and we do have storm warning. I mean, this is, it's just one of those things that can happen, just on the ascension journey in general. Things change, things get shaken up, foundations get shaken up. And it's understand faulty foundations is what gets shaken up on the journey. So if things are moving in a different way, if things are being removed from your life, if you're being called to show up in a different way, something like that, it's for your highest good. It is for alignment. Okay. Okay. Gonna get into this one really quick. Got about 10 minutes. So, what can we bring through in 10 minutes, Spirit? Ultimately, I'm getting that it's going to be safe for you to reach out. Like, I'm feeling like it's going to be received very well, but you're not going to know that until you actually reach out. Um, but there's a part of you that does have a deep knowing that that is the energy you're going to receive from them. But I feel like there is that fear of rejection that's really like in your face, screaming loud and clear. Chopped wood. This is mundane tasks. Just, cleaning and yard work and things like that. Okay, you might be distracting yourself from doing this and just being like, well, I can't reach out until I mow the yard. Well, it's been a week, so I have to mow it again. Like the grass grew again, so I got to mow it again. Or, I can't reach out until I dust the baseboards of my house or something. Maybe you're kind of doing that. There's all sorts of fun ways that ego comes up with great excuses and distractions to prevent you from doing the thing you're being asked to do that is, ultimately probably one of the scariest things you've ever done, in the sense that it's requiring you to be completely vulnerable. But you're going to co-create with this person. You're going to co-create with them, and you already are. Oh, okay. It's time to go. It's time to do this. It's time to do this. And you already are co-creating with your person. You just don't realize it. You and your person are both manifesting the same fucking dream timeline over here. Which is so funny. Like sometimes there's cosmic jokes in it, and it's not really funny from a human perspective, but when you zoom out, it's like, dude. And it's going to be able to pull you off of cycles. This came out in the reverse over here on the counterpart energy. You going towards your person is what is going to completely pull you into alignment. And it's going to be an energy thing that happens as a result of you taking this step, of you being open, honest, authentic, and vulnerable. Oh, okay. Sorry. I just saw a vision. I've gotten it a couple times over the past week, but it's like masculine and a feminine meet up somewhere. Um, I'm seeing like the masculine's already there, and then the feminine pulls up behind them and parks in their car, and then the feminine gets out, and like the moment they lock eyes, it's like a flood of emotions. It's like a release. So that might happen, and that might be part of where it's like this storm warning where you're like, I know this is going to be an emotional storm, but it's going to be such a beautiful emotional storm. This is a necessary storm that needs to happen between you and this person so that you can both move forward. And I feel like you both want to move forward together. But again, you're the one sitting there with the ball. Your feminine doesn't have the ball. So you have to get up and be like, hey, do you want to, you want to play this game with me? You want to play the game of life with me? Milk and honey. This is abundance. This is prosperity. This is, I mean, it's another manifestation card. It's literally time to go co-create your dream reality with your person. Um, Stop overthinking and just allow yourself to do it. Allow yourself to just take inspired, aligned action, which is at this point, it's moving towards this person in a very, yeah, it's moving toward your soulmate. Stop overthinking it. You already know that this is your person. You already know you have the potential to co-create a beautiful life together. Go make it happen. Make sure to go with the flow when this starts to happen. So it's kind of like that visual that I was getting with, the quarterback seeing that open receiver. Um, it's that energy of like, yes, have your strategy, have your game plan, but also allow yourself to go with the flow. Um, so, and I feel like it's going to be really easy to go with the flow once you start communicating with this person. And also, we've got unfinished symphony. So, this is saying it's time to finish what you started. It's time to finish what you started. Stop overthinking it. You've got a beautiful, this is the next step for you to get into alignment. And when you're in alignment, you can literally access the life of your dreams. So it's literally the next step for you, and the more you procrastinate it and overthink it and try to be perfect or try to have it be perfect, the longer, it's just delaying it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be authentic and vulnerable. That's the energy that's required. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to have a bazillion dollars and able to offer them everything. Like this is a counterpart situation. You're coming together to build. You're coming together to get on soul mission together. There is something about your mission that can only be accessed when you two are in union in some way, whether it's romantic or platonic, but it's you two working together. There's something with your mission that can only be unlocked when you two are working together. It's not saying that you can't do your soul mission in physical separation. It's just saying there is a key element here, and you both are desiring that. And so it's time to allow yourself to fully go for this. It can go the distance, and it can go the distance. This is a relationship that can go the distance. And there is a change in the wind. You've felt something shift. You're probably still standing on shaky ground because the next thing that you're being asked to do is go towards this person. So you're going to continue to feel like you're on shaky ground until you do so. And then once you really allow yourself to do it, there is going to be a massive change in the wind for you in your life in general. And it has something to do with, all of your dreams coming true. Ah, so good. All right, let's see if anything else wants to come out really quick. Truth be told, it's time to speak your truth. It's time. It's time. Um, yeah, this has been coming through quite a bit, and I feel like it's one of these like, yeah, it's time. It's time to tell your truth. It's time to clean it up. I feel like there is going to be stuff on both ends that you and your person would have to clean up in order to lock in a romantic union, but I feel like you're both on board for that. And you do have a deep knowing about this. You really do. If you get out of your head for a minute and tap into your body, tap into your intuition, you have a deep knowing about it. Um, and the observer. Do take a step back and observe it from a different perspective and see if, like, no, okay, never mind. Don't take a step back and observe it. Okay, that's the message. When you Spirit was just like, that's not it. I was like, okay, got it. Um, there's a perspective shift that will happen after you talk to your person. That's the message in this card. Okay. So you're going to be able to observe the situation from a different perspective and understand it from a different perspective when you allow yourself to actually communicate with your person. And you do have a deep knowing. I do feel like there's telepathy. I do feel like there's, dreams and all the things for counterparts is going on in this energy. So yeah, and it's time. It's time for this. We've got the fork in the road. But we've got indecision in reverse. So I feel like you're still at the fork in the road, but there's a part of you that has actually chosen alignment. And that's ultimately what it is. Like, you choosing alignment is you being required to take this leap of faith towards this person and to communicate with this person. I do feel like in this energy, it is going to be communicating feelings and things that maybe weren't expressed in the past. And then it's also expressing what you desire, with them in the future, to see if they're on board. And the thing is regardless of what they do or say, I do feel like they are on board for this. I do feel like you both are desiring the same thing. But let's say for a minute they aren't desiring the same thing. It's still the next step for you to get into alignment because you are being asked to show the universe basically that you are willing to take those intuitively inspired action steps in order to continue to stay in alignment, because this is how it works. And the more you do it, the less scary it is. Just know that. But at first, it's really scary to trust your intuition blindly and just be like, I can't fucking believe I'm going to do this. And I'm just going to throw myself out there and face rejection and heartbreak and pain. And then the universe is like, but do it, do it, do it, do it. And then, I really feel like in this energy, if you're resonating with this, I feel like what's going to happen is you're going to do it and then be like, holy shit, that's why, is because my person is on board. This person does want the same thing. They are feeling me too. They are hearing me. They are telepathically communicating with me. They are, getting visions of the future with me in it. And it's shared, some of them are shared visions that we've been tapping into and sending back and forth different possibilities for the future and things like that. I feel like you're really going to see this from a different perspective, but this fork in the road is like, are you going to pick alignment or not? And I feel like because the indecision card's in reverse, I feel like you are picking alignment. I feel like you want to walk the aligned path, and now it's just allowing yourself to take that next step to continue to get into alignment, which is going to be so worth it. I mean, you've got soulmates, milk and honey, um in cornucopia down here. You're co-creating this with a soulmate. Like, we've got caring connections out here. I mean, it's beautiful. And you're getting off of the karmic cycles. You're going to put an end to these cycles that are just round and round and painful and frustrating and keep you in a cycle. They don't allow forward progress. This is a completely different situation, and you're going to be able to finally put an end to some of these karmic cycles and really lock in this dream reality with your person. I really do feel like in this energy, this is a counterpart who is desiring a romantic union with you. I really, really do. But it's one of those like, remember, ultimately, you speaking up and speaking to this person is for you and your healing and your journey and your path to alignment. So regardless of what actually happens with this next step is for you. And and a part of it is for your person too, because I feel like it's going to confirm your person's intuition and, provide a sense of relief and confirmation. It's going to help change those perspectives. I feel like there might be some things that happened between you and this person or around this connection that both of you aren't fully seeing clearly because you only know your own side of the story. So there is going to be some stuff that is revealed to you, but I'm not getting that it's going to be like betrayal or anything like that. I feel like it's going to be like, oh shit, I didn't know that you felt like that. Or I didn't know that, when you did this, this is actually what you were doing, or something like that. It's going to be one of these like things are going to be illuminated to both of you, and you have a deep knowing about this, and it's time. We got time to go out here, and it can go the distance. It's time for you to go. It's time for you to close this distance, and it's also time for you to kind of put yourself out there a little bit and trust this person to actually be able to receive you in an open heart energy, which I feel like your person is in. So just know that. Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and leave this here. I hope this helps. I hope this resonates. Wishing you all the best. You got this. You got this. Honestly, it's one of those things, like, allow yourself to do this so that you can find some freaking relief. Um, and then also, like, you got some beautiful stuff coming your way. You really, really do. It's just taking that next step on the journey to fully lock into alignment, and then you will be victorious. Victory is here. This is success. This is, you'll be victorious in your endeavors. This is amazing. So, okay. Wishing you all the best. You got this. If this resonates, feel free to let me know in the comments below. I would love to talk to you about it. Feel free to hit that like button. It does help out the channel, so thank you. And if you would like to see more from me, you can hit subscribe. It is free. I will see you on the next message. Bye.